Bismillah. Okay folks, welcome back to another lesson. We're back at Mr. Moyies' house, and today we're going to do some further work on ratio. Okay, so chapter 9. Okay, I say chapter 9 ratio, but this actual work that we're doing today is actually page 55. So that's the previous work on ratio. We're going to be looking at page 55, the Colin series. Okay, now, so what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be going to the next level of work. Okay, Moise, have you got that actual exercise sheet? Have I given it to you?
It's in my book.
Can you give it back to me, please? Thank you. Right. What we're going to be looking at in this particular exercise here is looking at more challenging questions. Questions that involve fractions of litres, fractions of meters, knowing how to get from half a meter to a quarter of a meter, from half a meter to 5.5 meters. Looking at more of those kind of questions. Okay, right, let's look at our first question. Right, Ifra, can you give me some more colours, please? Do you want to stay over there and make a video?
Where are all your colours? I don't know.
Right, okay, here we go. Let's start off with something like this. So we have half a litre cost us 10 pence. Okay, we want to work out the cost of a quarter litre. So that's the original question. We want to work out the cost of a quarter of a litre. Please, can you get some pens out of mine? Oh, there's some fat pens in there, so just get them out. Quarter of a litre, then you have 1.25 litre.
Star where? Star.
Just in there, generally speaking. Thank you, Moyies, you're a star. Give me some more felt pens, I love felt pens.
Sir.
Okay. Oh, Jazakallah khairan, that's my Eid today. Okay, right. 1.25 litre. Then we have 4.5 litres. Okay, is the whole thing in there? The whole page? Should be the whole page in there.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 4.5 litres. Okay, we're going to look at the technique for doing this question. Okay, so as I said before, this is like the next level up from the question exercise we done last week with me and Moyies. Now, let's ask Moyies some questions. Moyies, how do we get from a half a litre to a quarter of a litre? So if you know what half a litre costs, now you want to work out, you want to get towards a quarter. How is a half and a quarter connected? How do we get to a quarter from a half? What do? Do we double it like we did before?
You take away 1.
You wouldn't take away 1. You would divide it by what?
1.
By 2. Because a quarter is half of a half. Okay? So here we need to know how to get from a half to a quarter, and the technique is divide by 2. Now if I divide the left hand side by 2, I must divide divide this side by 2. Okay, 10p divided by 2 will give us an answer of 5. Okay. Now, I need to get from a quarter of a litre to 1.25 litre. How many times is 1.25 litres bigger than a quarter? It is how many times? Think.
4.
5. 5.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you want to go from 1 quarter to 1.25, it's 5 times bigger. Why? Because in one whole you have 4 quarters, and then you got another quarter, so that's 5 quarters. So this here is actually 5 quarters, so it's 5 times the top one. So to get from 1 quarter to 1.25, we have to times by 5. If you time the left side by 5, you have to time the
right side by 5.
So 5p times by 5 is
25p.
Okay, now we want to get to 4.5 litres. Okay, let's change colour. I've got loads of lovely colours today. Right, I'm not going to go from there to there. I'm going to go from there to there. Because 4.5 litres is a multiple of half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's lots of halves in 4.5. How many halves are there?
4.
No.
2.
9.
No.
Because in 4, there is 8 halves. And then there's 1 half that makes 9 halves. Or another way of looking at it, we do it like this, I'll show you. Oops, this colour is not very good. So you have 4.5, yeah? Start from the bottom and make the fraction top heavy. Do you remember that, Moise?
Oh yeah.
So 2 times by 4 is 8. And then we add the 1 on the top, that will give you
9.
So you should know by looking at 4.5 that we're actually looking at 9 halves. That's another way of looking at it. So in 4.5 you have 9 halves. So to get from a half a litre to 4.5, we are actually going from half a litre to 9 halves. So how do you get from 1 half to 9 halves? We multiply by 9.
9.
And if I time this loop by 9, how much time?
The right loop by 9.
So that's separate. 10p time by 9 is
90p.
90p. Okay? So that's an example, Moise, of a question that you need to think. It's a thinking question. You have to think, well, how do I get from a half to a quarter? Because we're talking about fractions now. Quarter is half of a half. Divide by 2 both sides. How do I get from 1 quarter to 1 1/4? 1 1/4 is really 5 quarters in disguise. So times it by 5. Now I don't want to go from there to there because it's easy to go from there to there. Because half to 4.5. In 4.5 we said we have 9 halves. So you times that by 9. If you times the top loop by 9, times that by 9 as well. And that's the first question done. Okay? Right, give me some more tape from the side. It's over there. There is the top. Right there. That's by hand. Stay there. Don't come in front of the camera. That's here. No, that's too much. Right, let's get ready for the next question. Ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to write on the back of that because it's very complicated. That's going to go in your notes. Right, let's get another sheet of paper. Let's get another sheet of paper. That was lovely. Okay. Right. So Molly's just taking a bit too much out there. Okay, right. Right, let's have a look. So here comes the next question. Okay. If I can just go around the back and just quickly check that we are all completely in focus, that page should be in focus. Yes? Okay. Don't come in front of the camera. Right. Ready? Okay. Let's sit down now. Okay, right. Here comes our next question. So that one we started out with a half. Okay, let's start with now 500. Yeah, that was good. So we have 500 milliliters cost us 16p. Okay, and they want to know the cost of 2.5 liters, 3 liters, a quarter. So let's do that. 2.5 liters, 2.5 liters, 3 liters, a quarter liter, and 1.25 liter. There's a whole page in there. Okay, good. Okay, Mr. Moyies, yeah, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, sit down and concentrate now. Right. Now 500 milliliters, how many liters that is a fraction? Because we've got milliliters and they've got fractions now. So let's make it all into the same. So 500 milliliters as a fraction of a liter, how much of a liter is it? 500 milliliters, 1 liter is 1,000, so 500 is what fraction of a liter is 500 mil? Half.
Half.
Half. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, half.
So in brackets on the other, put down a half. So 500 milliliters, we're going to convert it straight away into half a litre. So that will help us with all the rest of the questions, rather than working milliliters and then litres. Okay, now, we need to change 2.5 litres into halves. So, Mr. Moyies, how do we change 2.5 litres into halves? So you have 2.5, we start from the bottom, we multiply and add. 2 times by 2 is?
4.
4 add 1 is?
5.
5 halves. So 2.5 litres is really what number in disguise?
5.
It is really 5 half litres, yeah? Good. Right. Since we're talking about halves, how many halves are there in 3? Well, there's 2 in one, 2 in the second one, and 2 in the other. So you have 2, 4, 6. Okay. Right. Okay, and now, Mr. Moyies, concentrate, yes? Change that to top heavy. So 4 times by 1 is 4. Add 1 is
5.
so that gives you 5 quarter liters as well. So just these here will help us with the calculations. Help us to focus on what we're doing. Right, okay, let's change colour once more. Now, Mr. Moyies, we've established that 500 milliliters is half a litre. Now I want to go from half a litre to 5 half litres. How do I go from 1 half to 5 halves? What do we multiply by? 5. If you time this by 5, you have to time
That by 4.
so 16 times by 5 will give you 10 times by 5 is 50, 6 times by 5 is 30, 50 at 30 is
80.
well done. Okay, now, so we have 2.5 litres. Now we need 3 litres. Now, am I going to go from there to there or shall I go from the top one to that one? Moyies, which one do you think is a better option?
Top one.
Top one is good. Let's change colour. Light green. Now, I don't want to go from 5 halves to 6 halves. You can't say add a half liter. We're doing ratios. It's all about multiplying, dividing here. We can add maybe 2 answers, but we're not adding between these two that. You can't say from here to there I'm going to add half. Okay? So we're going to go back to half litre again. And we are now going to go to half litre to 6 half litres. Now,
Time by 6.
time by 6. If I time this by 6 after times,
Right.
this by 6. So we have 16 times by 6. So we do 10 times by 6 is 60. 6 times by 6 is 36. So 60 at 36 will give us
96.
96. 96p. Now, I want to get to a quarter of a litre. And we established in the previous question that a quarter is a half of a half. So let's go back to the half litre part there. Let's go back to that. And we want to get from here to here. Because that's the best route for us at the moment.
Easiest.
Easiest route. So we'll go half litre to quarter litre by dividing by 2. Halving it. If you half a litre, you get a quarter of a litre. So we have to pick and choose whichever branch is the best. So for example, here to here, then here to here, and from here to here. Yeah? You don't have to go from the previous one. You go from whichever one is easy. So you got to find the easy one. So half a litre divided by 2 gives you quarter of a litre. So you're going to start from here. 16p divided by 2.
8.
Okay. Now, if I want to get from 1 quarter to 5 quarters, that sounds good, yeah? Because we're from quarters to another quarter. Now, how do we get from 1 quarter to 5 quarters? 1 quarter to 5 quarters. We times by 5. So 1 times by 5 is 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So we have to times by
5.
So you have 8p times by 5. That will give you an answer of
40p.
40p. Okay, folks. I hope these questions are helping you to understand the more challenging questions. Questions that require you to think more and understand fractions more, the conversion between milliliters and liters. So these questions, I call these the thinking questions. Okay, ready for the next one more example?
Yes.
So that was example number 2. Okay, let's take this example off the board. Okay, folks, don't forget we are actually at the moment in Mr. Moyies' house. So we've got a makeshift little board, some sellotape and some pieces of paper, and we're trying to, inshallah, hopefully help Moyies to learn, and also the nation, or should we say everybody in the world, to learn these techniques. And when Moyies gets stuck, he can come back to the internet and reload the lesson, and he can check how the lesson goes. Yes, Moyies?
Yeah.
If you get stuck, you can watch the lesson again. And Moyies, just quickly check that this whole page is in the view of the camera. Just don't move anything. The whole page, yes?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Sit down then. Good. Okay, let's choose another question. So we are still on the Collins Book of Maths, page 55 on shopping and ratio. Can you see me in there? move me now. Is that better? Okay. I've just been told by my student that you will see my head in the video. Okay, right, now I've got up a bit more. Hopefully you can see more of me now, rather than just seeing my head. Okay, right, let's have a look at another question. Right, let's have a look. So we've done one of the halves and quarters. Okay, let's have a look. What the questions should we choose for you? That's a straight. These last couple of questions are straightforward. Okay. Right. Half to. Okay. Here comes the next question. So 3/4 of a meter. 3/4 of a meter costs 33p. And from 3/4 they want to know what is 1/4. And from 1/4 we need to get to 1. And from 1 we need to get to 5.5. Okay, and from 5, and we also need 2.25. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready, Moyies?
Yes.
Good. Okay, Moyies is ready. Right. Now, Moyies, how do we get from 3/4 down to 1/4 down to 1/4? We're not timesing, we are now dividing by?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. So if I divide this side by 3, I must divide?
Right by 3.
33 divided by 3 will give us an answer of?
3. 11.
Okay, right. Next we have a quarter. We want to get up to 1. This is the situation here where you can add. What's 3/4 add 1/4?
4.
4/4,
4.
which is 1, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you want to, in this particular situation, you could add 2 arms of the ratio to give you the next answer. So this is one example where you say 3/4 add 1/4 will give you 1. And 33p add 11p will give you?
44.
Okay. Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah.
Now, we want to go from 1 to 5.5. I don't want to time by 5.5 because that's actually what the multiplier is. Let's change the number 1 into halves. Okay, Mr. Moyies, how many halves are there in 1?
2.
2. So I'm going to change this number 1 into 2 halves. Okay, so I want to go now from 2 halves to 5.5. Well, 2 halves to 5.5. How many halves are there in 5.5?
5.
Okay, remember you have to times and add. 2 times by 5 is?
10.
Add 1 is?
11.
11 halves. Okay, we have 11 halves over here. Mr. Ramiz, you are being requested. Can you go there before we get any more? Okay, now, in the number 1, we have 2 halves. In the number 5.5, we have 11 halves. So to get from 2 halves to 11 halves, what way could we do it? We could first of all, what's 2 halves divided by 2? 1 half. What's 1 half times by 11?
11 halves.
There you go. Yes?
Yes.
So what we do on that side, we do on?
The right side.
So we have to do 44 divided by 2 and then times by 11. What's 44 divided by 2? What's half of 44?
22.
22. What's 22? Okay, what's 22 then times by 11? 22 times by 11. So we do 22 times by 10 first.
Yeah.
What's 22 times by 10?
220.
And then add another 22?
Is 242.
Happy with that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Now, we want to get to 2.25. So, Mr. Moyies, can you see quarters up here?
Yes.
Can you see quarters down here? Let's change this into top heavy. So we start over here at the 4. Okay, and we have to multiply 9. What's 4 times by 2?
8.
4 times by 2 is 8. 8 and 1 is?
9.
9. So that gives you 9/4. Now, Mr. Moyies, how do we get from 1/4 down to 9/4? What do we do?
Times 9.
Times by 9. From here, you times by 9. So from 11p
Times 9.
times by 9. That gives you
99.
99p. Have you all done?
Yes.
So there's a bit of thinking, what should you say? A lot of thinking. Thinking questions. You can't just get it. You have to connect between this and that. Well, I got this, how do I get to that? I've got this, how do I get to this? Or how do I get from somewhere else here? You've got to be continuously thinking, what's the best route? How many of these go into that? Making to top heavy, I'm actually going to that. Yes?
Yes.
Okay folks, that's the end of our video. That's the exercise that Mr. Moyies will be doing for homework, shopping and ratio. Here's the question, a set of 18 questions. Each question's got 4 parts in it. And the answers are at the back. Okay, over here. The answer's over here. Okay, right. Thank you very much for joining us in this video. I hope this video has helped you to learn this work. If that hasn't come out clearly, you'll find this in the next video, which I'll touch on when I get back home. And you'll be able to see the question and answer more clearly. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. See you in the next video, inshallah.